My name is Madison Barra, and welcome to my podcast, where it's all about teaching you how to lose weight, keep it off, and actually enjoy the process. I've lost over 70 pounds, and these are the failures and lessons I've learned along the way. Hope you enjoy and subscribe. So today I would like to specifically talk to the women who are feeling really unlucky in their weight loss, feeling, tired, beat down, just like unlucky, like they can't catch a break. The women who seems to be trying to do everything for everybody else, trying to make everybody's life easier and less stressful. But as a result, that makes her life harder and way more stressful. The woman who is taking their parents to the doctor's office and taking their kids to sports practice and making sure their husband gets fed first before them, kind of all that stuff where you're just trying to be a good person, but now maybe it's making you moody, maybe it's making you a little bitter, maybe it's making you more impatient and short with the people in your life, or even maybe a little bit of resentment has started to set in for the people that you love. And so if this is you, okay, I want to just completely blow your mind and give you a perspective shift today of how you can kind of get rid of these feelings and actually take the right step towards your weight loss journey without feeling like the deck is stacked against you. So there was a study done, and it took quite a large group of people, and it was a very simple study. And it was like, okay, for the next 10 days, you are going to be overly pleasant. Every single person that you interact with in a day, doesn't matter how you're feeling or how bad your day has gone, you're going to put on a fake smile and be super pleasant, like you're seeing your best friend who you haven't seen in 5 years. And so that's what everybody did. They did it to the person they bought coffee from. They did it to the person delivering their Amazon package on the doorstep. They did it to their coworkers, to their boss, to their husbands when they didn't feel like it and they were fighting. They kind of cut it short and were pleasant. So these people were like forcing themselves to be sickeningly sweet for these 10 days. And I'll let you think for a second. What do you think was the result of this? After 10 days, what do you think they found? Well, before they started this little experiment, they measured kind of as many areas in these people's lives as possible. And what they noticed is after these 10 days, almost every single measurable area had changed. Like everything from their blood pressure went down, their grades went up, they made more money, they got promotions, they weren't in as many fights with their family, they were having a better sex life. Like every area that could possibly improve pretty much improved. And it was an indirect result of just being more pleasant. How crazy is that? And then once they concluded those 10 days, they did another 10 days, but they did it with the opposite, right? So instead of being overly pleasant, you're going to be, grumpy, short, and easily annoyed, and you're not going to go out of your way to make other people feel good, right? Especially if you're not feeling good. So they went and did that for 10 days, and guess what happened? The exact opposite of the first experiment, right? Grades went down, blood pressure went up, weight went up, fights with spouses went up, sex went down. Like all of these even things that seemed unrelated to health or just being a happy, pleasant person, it all went downhill, right? And so what we can take away from this is, if you want to be blessed, you must first become a blessing. If you want weight loss to come easier, if you want health to become automatic and easy and part of your lifestyle without much extra effort, if we want to be blessed with, children that like us and parents that are easy to deal with and a husband that doesn't nag us, whatever it is, if we want to be blessed with a happy, healthy, stress-free life as much as possible, then you must be the blessing in order to be blessed. So, have you been a blessing in people's lives lately? Or have you just been going through the motions and doing what needs to get done? Which is great. I mean, that's definitely a start. There's people who don't do that, but that's not enough. That's not going to completely shift your world and your lifestyle to where health is easy, happiness is easy, patience is easy, discipline is easy, setting a good example of what being a blessing is like for your family. And so if you want to have a blessed life, have you been a blessing in other people's life, right? Like that's just how physics works, right? For every reaction, or for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So most of the time, if you're getting things in life that you're not happy with, that aren't helping you, that are making your life harder, if you hold a mirror up to yourself, unfortunately, you're usually getting what you have been giving. And I know that's not nice to hear. And I know you might be like, no, Madison, that's not true. But let's just say it is true for a second. Because if it is true, guess what that means? As horrible, as hopeless, as dark, as awful as life may seem in this phase right now, I'm saying all you have to do to turn it around, even just a little bit, and not feel so low, is to put a little bit more blessing into the world. And then you get blessed. That's really how it works. It really is that simple. Really quick, you guys know that I do not run any ads or try to sell you anything on this podcast. The only thing that I would ever ask of you is that you help me spread the word so that I can help more women lose weight, keep it off, live a healthy life, and love themselves in the process. And the only way that we can make that happen is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing that I would ask from you is if you could please leave a review. It'll take about 10 seconds. It would mean the world to me, but more importantly, it could change the world for somebody else. Back to the podcast. And I think we forget that it's that simple. We overcomplicate things. We think, we need X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, U. We need all of these things to be perfectly aligned and perfectly fixed. And once this is over, then I can start X. Seriously, if you're listening to this, be a blessing in somebody's life today. And you'll be blessed 1,000 times over. That is the way that the universe works. That is the way that energy circulates. It is literally just physics. We are physics before we are biology. Think about that. We are physics before we are biology. We are energy before we are beings. And that's just the truth. And so we're like magnets. We're going to attract what we've been giving off. And sometimes we need a reality check to really sit and think, what have I been giving off? Because I can tell you, before I lost my 80 pounds, I wasn't super friendly. I wasn't super encouraging and motivating of other people to be successful in their weight loss journey. I wasn't super patient with people in my family, right? Like I can go back and look at who I was when I was overweight and say, okay, that kind of makes sense. My mind was a mess. And so my body was kind of like a mess. It was just reflecting each other, right? How I was walking through the world and the mindset I had walking through the world was showing up on my body. And so if you want to change your body, you must first change your mind. You must first change your perspective. You must first change how you've been acting in the world. Sometimes it doesn't always have to go to, I need to eat salad this week and I need to go to the gym this week. Sometimes if we've been saying we need to do that and that's just not been happening, maybe it's time to take a different approach. Maybe we look more macro instead of micro. Maybe we just zoom out on our life. And, at the end of the day, if you have a goal and you're struggling, whether that's even health and weight loss related or not, at the end of the day, being a nicer person, making somebody else's life genuinely easier because you want to, and because you're pleasant while it's happening, not because it needs to get done and you're kind of rushing through it and you're mad that you're the one that has to do it. Not that, like genuinely trying to bless somebody else's life. That could be the game changer. That could be finally the thing that sets the ball rolling in the direction you want it instead of the direction it's been going, right? Because we have all these ideas of solutions that can fix our problem. And the problem is we know what to do and we haven't been doing it. So maybe the reason we haven't been doing it is because you truly deep down in your core know that that's not good enough. I've been on thousands and thousands of discovery calls with women learning about their goals. And, probably 8 times out of 10 on these calls, I'll hear a woman say, I know what to do, but for some reason I'm not doing it. Right. And, it comes down to needing motivation and needing somebody outside of yourself to keep you accountable. And that's where coaches come in. 100%. Like I truly believe in my core that you can't achieve greatness without a coach, right? Olympic athletes needs coaches. So, but beyond that, maybe the reason you haven't been doing what you should be doing is because you actually know that that's not going to cut it anymore. That it's just a kind of a waste of time. It's not going to be the biggest bang for your buck. It's not going to knock down the most amount of dominoes, right? Because eating healthy and moving more, sure, you're going to lose some weight if that's your goal. But how long can you do that for? How long can you keep that up when children start to nag you to take you places? When your husband brings home takeout and tempts you, right? When your parents are getting sick and you have to take care of them, right? Like, how long can you keep doing what you think you should be doing until it no longer serves you and your life just doesn't fit it and it falls out of your life, which is what happens. And so maybe it's just the energy that you're bringing, because it really is a ripple effect, right? You throw one pebble into a pond and look at how the water ripples out and out and out and out, far bigger than that pebble was. And that's what you need to remember. You are the pebble in the ocean. It's a huge ocean. And sometimes we don't think we could have any effect or make any difference, or what's the point? I'm never going to reach my goal. I'm never going to help my husband get healthy. I'm never going to help my daughter understand food freedom and be healthy so she doesn't suffer from the same things as me, right? Like all of these things, like it's like too much, too overwhelming. What could I really do about it? A lot. But maybe we're focusing on tactics, strategies, instead of just remembering it's physics and it's just about energy. And at the end of the day, if you want to be blessed more, if you want to be happy, healthy, more calm, free, like there's a weight off your shoulder, you have to be the blessing in other people's lives first. If you found this podcast valuable, I hope you can leave a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about how to lose weight fast and for good, visit Tramera.com. Thank you for listening, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another episode.